Hey guys, Haikrazon here with another trophy hunting video where today we're going to be going over some initial impressions and some thoughts about the trophy list after getting into the game a bit and spending a few hours with it. We're talking about Cult of the Lamb, which just released today, August 11th in the US. I've actually been really excited for this game and could not wait to play it. So before getting into the trophy list itself, just a little bit about the game. Just from the trailers and everything else, you can tell it's a typical roguelite. For me personally, what comes to mind is a little bit of Binding of Isaac, Moonlighter, Undermine, stuff like that, where you have your randomized dungeons when you're doing runs. You get your little map. There's actually a little bit of path choosing as well when you know your rewards, but it's not just two random rooms at the end. Their paths kind of like how Slay the Spire did it. But here's Cult of the Lamb's unique approach, and face it, all roguelites need one to stand out from the others. It's also part sim, and I don't even want to say a little bit. I mean, I think I've had about 6 or so hours with the game at the time of this recording, and it's decently intensive. A good bit of micromanagement. Your cult members that you recruit can get sick, they can get hungry, they care about how cleanly the place is. If you let your faith go down enough, which is a whole nother mechanic alone, they'll actually start dissenting and kind of becoming traitors and even try and talk your other cultists into not believing in your whole cult. So there's really a lot going on in the whole game, and the progression loop is incredibly satisfying, but we'll get into that shortly. I'm a little bit partial to this game because it's satanic yet really cutesy with animals and the lamb, obviously, and sacrifices and everything like that. I'm a huge fan of horror and everything dark, edgy, and evil, but then injecting the lighter side to it makes it feel more adventurous, even though a lot of the writing is still pretty damn dark, especially with some of the rituals that you can do for your cult. So getting into the trophy list, it honestly does not look that bad at all, especially for a roguelite. That's actually one of my favorite things about this game so far, is how accessible it is. It's almost like Diet roguelite, a little bit, just because they're not expecting so much from you and not that much relies on RNG. More of the RNG is just kind of how fun your run is going to be, but in terms of collectibles, like the tarot cards or all the doctrines and stuff like that, they seem pretty set in stone on being able to grind them out pretty easy, and it's not just based on getting lucky on your 200th attempt, hoping that the thing you need is there. It's also not very challenging on the base difficulty setting, which is kind of a warm welcome just because so many roguelites are like meant to be the hardest thing in the world. Not really, but looking at you, some of those Binding of Isaac runs, Jesus Christ. But so that's nice. You always have this loop of wanting to finish your run so you can get back to your village and take care of that, do some upgrades, whatever it may be, and you're not so reliant on the fact that, oh man, am I even going to clear this run? No, you're always meant to clear the runs, and that way you can focus on the other aspects of the game as well. On the topic of difficulty, there are 4 trophies for beating all of the 4 main bosses without taking damage, and I'm a little unsure about this one so far. On the first one, I managed to take it down on my first try, so that was awesome. The second one, however, I did take a hit, and I don't know yet if you can refight the bosses without any kind of weirdness or another playthrough or anything like that. So that kind of remains to be seen, but if you take your time, it's not hard to do anyways. I just fucking suck sometimes, man. But the rest of the trophies are pretty forgiving, which definitely makes the trophy list a lot more accessible on top of that. I mean, they have things like unlocking all the weapons, unlocking all the curses, which are basically spells in this game, unlocking fleeces, which I actually haven't even got to yet. I just started working on that. But it's all built around these mechanics that allow you to unlock them without needing to get lucky and find them. It's all done through your village and through your cult. As you level up, you're going to unlock these opportunities to find when you're doing your dungeon runs, and that's going to count as the unlock for them. There are a couple of trophies that stick out as maybe worrisome. There's one for catching one of every fish, which, I mean, we've all been there on games. Sometimes that can be pretty easy, maybe like an hour. Other times, it's like there's 1,000 different fish and it takes 50 hours to grind out, so let's hope it's not that, but I don't know yet. The other one requires you to have 20 followers, which honestly, it doesn't sound like a big deal. I'm currently at 14. However, they do age, and they age pretty quickly, and I haven't let one age to death yet, but I'm pretty sure they will die. So that number will always kind of be ticking back and forth. But if you prioritize getting new followers on your runs, I'm sure it'll be fine. I just haven't really experimented with it yet. Again, just being at 14, you only need 12 to unlock the 4 main dungeon doors, so adding onto that shouldn't be too bad, but we'll see. The rest of the trophies are really just miscellaneous that you're gonna get naturally just from playing. Things like hearing a confession, sacrificing your followers, or even making meals out of your sacrificed followers for cannibalism. But all in, it's really refreshing to see such a reasonable trophy list on a roguelite because they're normally so intensive with a huge time commitment. And plus, I just freaking love this game, so even if it was one of the longer ones, I personally would still probably be going for it. But so far, 6 hours in, I am having an awesome time. I'm excited to get the platinum, and it's easily worth the money. I want to support the hell out of the developers for making a title like this. So don't forget to subscribe so you can catch the full platinum trophy breakdown once I get it. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Productions.